Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. All right, let's get right into the SPY daily. Old Grandma did raise the rates today, so 0.25%. So markets didn't like it too much, but who knows? We get one day down and probably another 20 days up. But so you can't rule out more upside, possibly to the 230 area. We did have the 227.13. So far, that's holding pretty good. But again, what do we get? A shallow retrace and then another blast off, kind of like we did here. But they are conditioning everybody. So right now, if this thing goes sideways in a bearish manner, I'll keep my shorts on. Just waiting for pattern at this point. We do have a gap down here, the 382. Ultimately, I think this thing can at least get down to the 221.86 area, and that's where we're going to see what kind of a pattern develops. But again, it's way too early. Got a one-day pullback, which means nothing. Weekly chart, you do have a nice little tail here. You are inside this green bar, so let's see where we close on Friday. Can't really say much about it now. Let's see, IWM. Had a little bit nicer of a pullback. We do have this upper trend line that connected the highs. I'll show you on the weekly chart when we get there. But we do have we have a gap down here. We have a window, gap. This one's probably tight. This one's almost a gap. And ultimately, you have a gap down here with the 200 moving average. So again, there's no pattern other than a couple-day pullback like this, and then it took off again. If it does start moving up, then you go 140, 142.50. 145 up into that area maybe, but let's see how this sets up in a bullish manner, or does it set up more of in a bearish manner? Right now there's no pattern. And like I said, the weekly chart, nice little pullback here. You are below this 135.88 area. That was one of the areas we had for resistance as well, and it's pulling back okay. Again, it's still early. Let's see what happens on Friday on the weekly. Let's look at the I think I have it here. Let's look at the Qs. Let's go to the daily. So the daily, we got above the all-time high. We closed. We did not confirm. Let's see what this pattern brings. And it's only one-day consolidation. Let's see, does it pull back or does it stay and chop around? If you want to be more bullish, you want to see this thing stay up into this area and just go sideways, and wait for the next move up. If this does move up, 122.50. And then 125 even number, a quarter number if you want to say that. So then let's see if this thing pulls back. Then you have a couple gaps to fill, moving averages of support. So you're going to have a lot of support going down as well. So right now, let's stick a new fib in here though. Let's do more of a short term. Let's go from that low pivot to this one. So there's some other areas of resistance. 618.50 retrace. You have 116, the inside bar right here. That's going to have some resistance down below in this area. So just got to keep an eye on that. Let's open this one too. Oops. Let's take that. Extend that. All right, yeah, so that's going to be support as well. So, if it comes down, you're going to have a lot of support. So just expect some chopping around here unless the markets really start coming in or more volume comes to push this thing higher. Who knows? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Each day gives us a new piece of the puzzle, guys. This is only 1 cent up now. Where's the SPY? SPY's 17 cents up after hours. It was up around 42. Pulled back a little bit. But again, daily, we're above the all-time high right now. Let's see if we pull back and close below it, or do we close above it? And then we wait to see if we get up into this 125 area or so. And then take our positions from there. So let's get into the DIA. DIA weekly, a little tail. Let's get into the daily real quick. Daily chart, we pull back, gap fill. Let's see if we fill, is any gaps down here? No. There's a gap right here, window there, and then ultimately the gap at 178.50 as well as the 200 MA. Right now, just waiting on pattern. Nothing wrong above the MAs. All these charts, nothing wrong with them. They're just starting to pull back a little bit. But got to keep an eye on that. Watch for volume too. Volume starts picking up, we might get a little more selling possibly. Weekly chart, like I said, a little nice tail. We did have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars up here, and we have a little bit of tail. So we've been moving up for 6 weeks. So you'd expect maybe a couple more weeks, maybe. But volume wasn't the best either. So got to keep an eye on that as well. The Dow's a little extended, so I'd expect a little more of a pullback. IYT, this is one that's been lagging for a while since in here. This was a nice bullish pattern. This is the weekly chart, guys. I'm just going to pop into this one real quick, and then it took off right to the double top, 167.79. That's pretty much where it stopped. Well, it did pierce the even number of 170. That's going to be natural resistance. Pulls back, and so far it's pulled back, but we got to wait until Friday on the weekly close, and then on the daily. Daily, just a nice little pullback. A little doji here. And then upside down candle here on this one, whatever they call that. I forgot what but yeah, little tail here, nothing big, but it did pull back, and you do have some gaps. You have a gap down here, gap, then down maybe 200 moving average, maybe. But again, no patterns on these charts, guys. Just a slight pullback on a couple of these, and just gotta be aware of that. That's it. And IYT, the weekly chart, same thing. Pushes up, comes back in. 167.79 was your area, and it's back below that. Let's see where it closes on the Friday chart. USO came in real nice though today. Man, all that news out there. It's going up, it's going down. Is they're doing this, they're meeting. So they're just kind of coming in, retrace, bring it up, retrace, bring it up. Does it just retrace? Does it stay up into this area? We do have a couple gaps down in here. So will it come back down, hit the moving averages, and then bounce, or does it have a shallow one like everyone else? Just even bullish, bearish, you just get a shallow retrace and then it keeps going. So right now you did fill the gap. Did you fill it? Yeah, you did fill it today. So that right there's some support here. So let's see if this continues down, or does it get a bounce and start moving up again. So again, if the markets sell, I think this one will move lower. The dollar is moving up, so that's what's pushing oil down too when it's intact. Weekly USO, nothing wrong. You're still above the MAs. You're trying to get above the 1179 area and close above it. Then I think we could go up to the 1238 area, 1250 area. If it does not and reverse and stay underneath this trend line on a weekly close, then we could possibly have lower prices. There is a slight head and shoulder in here as well. If that plays out, I think we're going back down to at least the double bottom here, and then maybe even a little lower. So keep that one on your radar. I'm sure all your heads are popping off because I'm saying that. But hey, dollar weekly chart, that's what, let's go into the daily. Daily chart just chopping around. Same thing, shallow retrace, bounces up, shallow retrace, keeps going, tries to get the all-time, not the all-time high, but a new high here. It actually closes there above this high pivot. 750 retrace there, so that's kind of stopping it too. But your next level on these guys are, well, next level on this one is 2650 or so, so it's almost there. Almost hit it today by 6 cents. If you look at the weekly chart, though, you do have some higher areas right here, 2683, 2721, and then possibly, I'm going to say 28, maybe 29, but we'll have to see how that goes. But if you look at the weekly, that bullish pattern's not bad. If we chop around for another 5-6 weeks, maybe into January, this will go up and the markets will probably go down. So that's the weekly UUP. So not in bad. Weekly looks great. So I'm saying higher dollar in the near future. We did go long on this one. We already took the trade off. I wish I would have held a quarter on it, but I didn't. So on to the next one, and then the GLD. Guys, this is just classic stuff. We've been talking about this one. Wow, this comes in, bearish pattern here, retraces up, gets all the suckers on. I told her, don't bother. We're missing the trade, and boom, we did not miss the trade at all. So if you're looking at, excuse me, I'm like, all right. So if you look at the trade here, you had the gap fill here at 109.18. It filled it today. That was one of the areas. Another area is around 112.32. And then the other area is around 115. So these are the areas where we're just going to go slow and steady. And man, look where we're coming to this blue line. But I think we could possibly get to the 107, 106.90 area, gap fill. There's a couple other ones on its way down, but there's 105. That's going to be a big one. There's one around 103.04 or 130, yeah, 103.04. Then the big gap fill down, 101.49. Then double bottom 100, even number. So if you're waiting patiently, you're not in this gold trade long, I guess next level, you got to start taking something around 107, 106. Even right here, this gap fill. This could possibly bounce. Let's go to the weekly really quick here. See, now I'm looking on the weekly going, all right, is there some more support or resistance or anything on this chart? So this one, you got the golden cross coming, guys. If this thing crosses, this thing's going to But no, that's what CNBC will say. Watch out for the golden cross on CNBC, on the GLD, or the triple cross. So, but honestly, the 20 will curl down, and if this thing starts to set up in a bearish manner again, this thing will come into price and then push it down, or does it start going up? You don't want to miss this trade either. That's why, say you did 1,000 shares, 100, 100, 100, then maybe 200, and then maybe go 200, and then go 300 at the 100 even number, if you have that side of account. But if you're doing 100 shares, you would have went in 10, 10, 10, and then it goes down one more, do 20, and then goes down one more, do 25, and then 25. Your cost average will be around 105 or so. You'll have 100 shares. It gets back to 105. It'll probably go to 130. So you'll have a lot of shares, but if you have 100 shares of this, and this thing rips, 20, 30 bucks, that's a pretty damn good trade, if you ask me. And you just do about 20 of these a month. That's the name of the game here, guys. So going back to the gold daily, really it was consolidating underneath the moving average. We've talked about this bearish consolidation. It's starting to break out. I mean, usually when it consolidates, you might get lower prices. 109.18 was a good gap fill, so we're going to see how it reacts, guys. But overall, with Janet Yellen, she raises the rates. Dollar went up, gold went down, oil went down. The market stayed pretty. I mean, we're 118 down on the Dow, nothing crazy. I mean, but this reminds me of when we almost were at Dow 10,000, where they just missed it and then they pulled it back, and then the same. I think it was 10,000. It might have been 12,000. But every time it gets to these big numbers, it just barely makes it, and then boom, because all the shorts are waiting to short it at 20,000. That's where all the big money is, and where all the technicians are waiting a little bit higher. But if you were lucky enough to wait that long, but it's just one of those things where the markets are going light volume, holiday season, the Trump rally. So a lot of the news, a lot of the stuff, guys, it's all news driven. So again, it's the markets. It is all about the news and the talking heads and the CEOs. But at the end of the day, it's all in the charts, guys. And this, this gold chart is one of them that's telling us there's still a couple hard trades out there. Let's go into some of them. If you guys stuck around, NVIDIA, same thing. Hits that, they bring them right back to the highs. We wrote some calls. I actually put this trade out on Twitter, guys. Wrote some calls, 85s. I think there were Marches. I don't have it up in front of me, guys. Sorry. I guess I can. I'm out of all my accounts except for my e-signal. Hold on. Do I have a couple minutes? All right, hold on, guys. Okay, so we did the 85 March calls. The price was right around 1540. That's when we posted it. So that's, so if you would have got that post at that time, you'd be right in around, I think it even might have went a little bit, I don't have the chart in front of me, but it was right around that area. The spread wasn't that wide. So, go small and be willing to add just in case if it moves up to 100, so just a little bit, couple contracts, one contract, two contract, nothing big. And we're looking for, a good size premium suck out. We have a lot of time in this. And if the markets pull back in the next month or so, we'll get paid on that one. So I did a call. I wrote some calls today, guys. I'm shorting everything now. So, but yeah, NVIDIA monthly chart. That's the whole thing on this one, guys. Stretched, and now they're upgrading this thing at highs. Wow. Oh gosh. All right, just be careful in these markets right now. Watch for volume on the SPY. Watch for these high flyers. Anything that's high flying, the markets pull back. Those will all pull back nicely. So keep an eye on those. If you're in these shorts with me in the Twitter page, then let's get ready. If these markets pull back, we'll start covering these things one at a time and get out, and then we'll start looking at longs. But we're not going to go long until the time is right. And when I see good levels on the SPY and take it from there. Right now, I got my bear costume on, guys. I'm not messing around in these markets. I'm just taking them off as I see them, and I'm not wasting any time. Because if I could take one off and go into one of these high flyers in the next couple months, these things should pull back. So, all right, guys, you got a little extra on the NVIDIA and my thoughts and everything like that. But again, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for following me on Twitter and StockTwits. I really do appreciate it, guys. I love this stuff. I love sharing it with you. And hopefully I could be doing this full-time one day with you guys. So, all right, guys, enjoy my videos, all my live streams, subscribe to me, and have a great evening. It is, it's a wonderful day in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I'm at. Take care, guys. God bless. See you on the charts.